They got the knowledge you crave. Hard hitting insight gonna make you win. Listen up closely, let the games begin. Top big sleepers every week I spin. The FF universe, it'll help you win. The fantasy football universe.
What is up? Welcome into the Double FU, the FU times 2, the fantasy football universe. It is myself, Jeremy Schulman, today, possibly solo, possibly Ryan Prosick joining us, who I invited last minute, so that's on me. But we're going to be talking a lot about what's going on in week 10 here. You see a QR code up over here. That will get you to our TikTok account. Jesse Moeller is over there right now, live answering question as well. We get a lot of questions over on TikTok, so you can check that out. Jesse's going to be going through it. You can kind of come back and forth, but if you have questions for us here, we're going to be answering them live as well. So feel free to jump into it. We'll talk a little bit about this game that's going on first as we wait for a few questions to come in, and then I expect them to be a little bit hot and heavy here over the next couple of minutes. So thank you very much for joining us. And, a couple of quick orders of business as usual before we get into everything else. First of all, we got a Discord. That is the link for that is on our link tree over on Twitter. That's an easy way to jump in and join us and get not just advice for start sits, trades, and everything else right now, but also every single week or every single day of the week, rather, during the fantasy football season and beyond. And of course, if you haven't used Fast Draft, please do so with a free $25 on us if you spend $25 using promo code FFU. Okay, so that's the business. Here's what we need to talk about. First of all, we got the Berlin game going on. I was over on TikTok earlier, about 45 minutes pregame. We were talking about a lot of start sits. Alec Pierce was a big one. Of course, Pierce was always a bit questionable in terms of how he would perform. He's a boom bust player, but if you listen to any fantasy analyst worth of salt, he was talking about single high coverage and the fact that the Atlanta Falcons were playing that at the highest rate in the league, and that Alec Pierce dominates that coverage. It's why he went off last week, and we saw him catch a deep bomb touchdown again this week. That is great for his fantasy value. It's great for your fantasy teams. And hopefully you fired up Alec Pierce, even though you're possibly looking at potentially other options. But Pierce had a good day. Penix is throwing the ball awfully. You hope here as Atlanta's up 1 with about 8 minutes left in the game, you hope here that Penix gets you something else done. Potentially a Penix pass to Bijan Robinson wouldn't, many fantasy managers wouldn't mind that at all, as Bijan rips off a long run and gets a first down here on the Colts. 17-16 Atlanta right now. Okay, so yeah, not much really to talk about fantasy-wise in this game. It hasn't been incredible for anyone. Like I said, Penix just 1 touchdown pass. That was, of course, to Drake London. If you started Drake London, you're very happy. Otherwise, Bijan just 63 yards on the ground, 1 for -4 through the air. Nobody else really contributing. Pitts has had 4 targets, but just 1 reception. And of course, Penix missed him wide open in the end zone, a really, really bad underthrow. Otherwise, Danny Jones has been fine for you. 204-1 on the Colts side. He's running around a little bit, 34 yards on the ground as well. But you're not really happy with his day. Jonathan Taylor, though, going off 25 carries, 127 yards, and a touchdown. Of course, he's doing it through the air as well, 3 for 42 through the air. He has been studly. Tyler Warren has been good. Alec Pierce, we mentioned already. Michael Pittman, just 1 for 9. Really tough here with the Atlanta defense when they're mostly healthy. Only Divine Diablo is out at the moment for them. So, with Billy Bowman back, manning the slot, Josh Downs doesn't do anything. AJ Terrell gets to man up on his assignment, so he's limiting Michael Pittman. It's really working out for this Atlanta defense, but the Atlanta offense isn't really holding serve here. They're not doing enough, as they just have kind of, it looks like they're going to punt the ball away. I don't think they're in field goal range. Looks like they're going to punt the ball away and give Daniel Jones the ball back with about 7 minutes left. But that's enough of the early game stuff. Let's talk about some of these late games here and things that you need to think about for the upcoming matchup. First of all, in terms of injuries, everybody's pretty much playing. The only notable absence is Josh Palmer of the Buffalo Bills. Against Miami, I think it's actually better for Dalton Kincaid, who is my tight end one on the week. It may be a little bit better for Elijah Moore, who you're probably not playing. I know we got 4 teams on bye, but you're likely not playing him. Khalil Shakir, we hope sees a little bit more because Palmer is out, but it's Cook, it's Allen, and Kincaid. Those are the big dogs that you're playing each and every week if you have them on your team slotted into your lineup. Like I said, Dalton Kincaid, my tight end one on the week. Otherwise, everybody else who we were concerned about is playing. Aaron Jones is suiting up and playing. DeAndre Swift, even though the expectation is he might be limited, he is suiting up and playing. Harold Fannin is suiting up and playing. Tet McMillan with a hammy is suiting up and playing. Garrett Wilson is back in action. So there's a lot of guys who we've either been holding out or have been a little concerned about this week who are coming back and who are going to play this week. I think in a lot of cases, especially with our 4 teams on bye, that's the Titans, the Cowboys, the Bengals, and who else? It's actually a decent. The Chiefs. Those 4 teams, because they're on bye, you have a fair amount of offensive players from those squads who may, in fact, be out, and you have to replace. Starting Olamide Zaccheaus in a few places, which is unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do. We're firing up, Travion Henderson and Terrell Jennings in a lot of spots. Tez Johnson in a lot of spots as well. So look, you got to do what you got to do with guys on bye, and you got to kind of do your best to grab the win, but it is what it is. Look, we're answering start sit questions here. So please throw them in the chat and let me know what you have, and we'll talk about them in depth. And once again, if you want to head over to TikTok and check out Jesse Moeller and what he's doing over there, go ahead and scan the QR code or tap it on your screen, and you will be able to get over there on TikTok as well. That's going to be rapid fire, so feel free to do that. Interesting one that I had, and we have a lot of interesting quarterback questions here as well for this particular week. Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart is an interesting case. A lot of people are wondering if they should start him over other bigger names. I think the answer is yes. Jackson Dart is my QB5 this week, and Chicago cannot cover anybody in the secondary. Now, we have, of course, an issue with potential weather. We have, of course, the fact that this is in Chicago, and Cam Scatterbo has been out for a couple of weeks. So Jackson Dart himself could potentially struggle a little bit more than he has, but he's looked great. The problem is this offense is a little bit, more of a backyard ball kind of vibe right now, but that plays right into Jackson Dart's strength. He's a 1, maybe 2 read guy and then taking off and running. He's getting you those yards on the ground. He's running the football in. He's throwing the football and showing decent accuracy, especially on the move. So we're happy with Jackson Dart and what he's doing for us for fantasy. He's my QB5 on the week. I have him over guys who I think are going to have great games. Jared Goff is my QB6. I think he's going to destroy Washington. I have Dart over Goff. I have him over Jalen Hurts, who we know can run the ball in 2-3 times a game. Playing a tough Green Bay defense, but you can beat Green Bay on the ground, and teams have proven they can do that. So if Hurts runs a little RPO with Saquon Barkley playing, hopefully, probably not 100%, but he is going to be out there a lot. I think Hurts probably has a decent game. I have Dart over him. Caleb Williams. I have Dart over Caleb Williams, even though we just talked about the fact that Caleb Williams is going to have a very good game against the New York Giants and the Paulson Adebo-less secondary for New York. So really happy about that as well. We appreciate all of you guys joining us here. Once again, Jesse Moeller is live on TikTok answering questions right now. If you have any start sit questions or anything right now for me to get in here in the next 50 minutes, just drop in the chat and we will discuss them for sure. Let me know what you are thinking about. If we're looking at this game right now, it looks like Jonathan Taylor is just running the rock, running dudes over, bouncing it and cutting it outside and looking like an absolute stud. I just ran it a 70-yard, catching the replay here on what looks like a 70 to 80-yard touchdown run, 26 carries, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, another 42 yards through the air. Jonathan Taylor is absolutely crushing it right now. All right, so let's take a look at some other interesting start-sit decisions. We talked about the fact that a lot of the guys who we're expecting who could potentially be out are playing this week. One of those guys is Harold Fannin Jr. He's playing the Jets. We know the Jets just traded away Quinnen Williams. They traded away Sauce Gardner, who Look, he'll be okay. He's not phenomenal. I don't think he's worth 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick, which is basically what they got in AD Mitchell. At the same time, the Colts were in desperate need of secondary help, and he's helped them a little bit already. This game, even though he's not fully caught up in the playbook. But that being said, the Jets on the other side of the trade there, the Jets have lost everybody on the defensive side worth anything. Harold Fannin Jr. is healthy enough. He's going to suit up. I think he's going to play, and I think he's going to dominate between him and Njoku. I kind of lean Fannin here. He's been interesting. Fannin, my tight end 8 on the week, and Njoku, my tight end 13. Both of these guys are viable in your starting lineups this week because Dylan Gabriel can't get it to the outside. I mean, that's really the main issue here. They're going to rely on Quinshon Judkins. They're going to rely on probably Jerome Ford more than they should. Dylan Sampson not really getting on the field too much anymore, but they could be relying on him and these tight ends. These wide receivers are basically cardio kings out there, not doing enough for you for fantasy, but at least stretching the field enough to be able to make the underneath and seam plays work for these tight ends. I'm happy to fire up both Fannin and Njoku if you have them. But over Njoku, I have Juwan Johnson at Carolina. I think Olave is going to get the J.C. Horn treatment, so Juwan Johnson is an interesting play this week. Dallas Goedert at Green Bay. I know it can be boom bust for him, but he's received a lot of goal line work. Absent the tush push, they seem to be shoveling it to Goddard at the goal line. That's working. And then Colston Loveland here at my tight end 10 against those Giants. I think they're going to struggle to cover him, and you're not really going to put the genie back in the bottle. I know everybody's healthy and everybody's playing in this Bears offense, and they're certainly not playing Cincinnati this week, but the New York Giants have been giving it up a ton all across the board to the opposing offense. I can give you some numbers here right now if I can find them. They are giving up the 7th most fantasy points to quarterback, the 2nd most to running backs, the 7th most to wide receivers. So the Giants are really struggling, and they're only giving up the 22nd most to the tight end position. We're talking about Colston Loveland here. But the thing is, the Bears have so many offensive pieces, and of course, Adebo's out. It's really going to strain them on the back end to keep up with anyone. So I really like the New York Giants here and what they're able to do. I really like the Bears here and what they're able to do against the New York Giants this week. I think you can be safe in firing up a lot of them. DJ Moore has been a question on a lot of these start-sit shows and what we had going on earlier today. You could play DJ Moore. I think Rome certainly gets a little bit fed. Dad was the squeaky wheel this week and not the player Rome himself. So, but I think he still gets fed. That being said, I like DJ Moore. Luther Burden might be involved. It's deep league flex. I don't love it, but if you have to, you have to. But yeah, if we're talking about, that's mostly dynasty leagues. If we're talking about redraft, hey, Colston Loveland over Cole Kmet and over some of these other guys is interesting, especially with Swift hobbled, right? Monangai, we expect to see the bulk of the work this week because Swift is coming back from injury. But if the Bears need him, Swift is available to crush as well. So you have those potentialities here in that game. We got a start-sit question from Jason. Jason will hit you up in about 20 seconds. Just a reminder to everybody here, if you have start-sit questions, please put them in the chat and we will run through them here. This one comes from Jason. Jason, what is up? Thanks for joining. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, Jordan Mason at RB2.5 PPR. Well, Aaron Jones is playing. So for me, I'm fading Mason. I mean, they proved, was it last week? I believe Aaron Jones, when healthy, is kind of the bell cow here. They proved that last season, right? I know Jordan Mason wasn't on the team, but Aaron Jones receiving the most touches of his career. They want to feed Aaron Jones. He's the dual threat guy that they need in this backfield to make it work. And Jordan Mason doesn't necessarily give you that versatility. He's not a very good pass catcher, and it kind of shows. And Kevin O'Connell has proven time and time again, if they don't need to use Jordan Mason a ton, they're not going to use Jordan Mason a ton. So look, even with Walter Nolan back and absolutely dominating up front with his multiple sack performance last week, I still like these Seattle backs against Arizona. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker. I know Charbonnet's the touchdown guy. Charbonnet feels safest here to me, but Kenneth Walker, I think, has the ceiling that you want. If he can break up a long run, he can certainly do it against the Arizona Cardinals. So that's one I'm looking at, especially with Rashid Shaheed stretching the defense. I think the Seattle offense is going to figure out exactly how to use Shaheed here. And it doesn't mean that I don't think it means that he pops off for fantasy, but I do think that it means that everything else opens up underneath. Charbonnet does catch some passes, but Kenneth Walker also can benefit in the screen game and the pass catching game here. So I'm going Walker 1, Charbonnet 2, Mason 3. Now, can Mason score a touchdown or two from short yardage? Absolutely. But I'm going Walker here, half PPR. I'm riding that train. I don't like it, but yeah, Mason is the guy I'm definitely sitting, and I probably go Walker over Charbonnet. Drone Force, thanks for jumping in. Starting Nico and Devonta at wide receiver. Yeah, Devonta's that's a tough one, Drone Force. Jalen Warren at flex. So I think you have to start Jalen Warren at flex. That's definitely a good call there. But Devonta and Nico, it's so tough, right? Davis Mills, of course, playing behind that Swiss cheese offensive line, trying to throw it to Nico. Nico should be peppered at the same time. His ADOT, his average depth of target, is difficult here. And Devonta Smith, I'm just worried against this Green Bay defense. You run it against Green Bay. You want to control the clock and play good defense yourself. I think that's what the Eagles should do. Make sure you shouldn't be starting Debo or Olave. I'm going to invite Ryan here into the show, noted Philadelphia Eagles fan. And Ryan, the question is, should I start Chris Olave? I'm going to say Debo, no. But should Drone Force be starting Chris Olave over either of Nico or Devonta Smith, your boy Devonta Smith?
I think he could start. I think I'm rocking with Nico and Devonta. I think he had this question on our Adjust the Rink show, and I think I answered Nico and Devonta. So I think I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stick to my guns here.
Yeah, I get that. I hear you. And look, I think Chris Olave definitely gets the JC Horn treatment from Carolina, right? So this is what we're most concerned about with him. At the same time, I'm kind of concerned about Devonta. Look, A.J. Brown is active and playing. Dallas Goedert is healthy. We know what he can do. And Saquon Barkley, I'm not sure how healthy he is, but he is suiting up. I think we probably see the combination of Saquon and a little bit more Tank Bigsby than we expect to try and win this game. What are you expecting from a game script perspective here between the Eagles and Green Bay on Monday night?
I think it could be a little bit of an offensive game. I mean, I think Philly has the upper hand. I don't know why they're underdogs because of, I guess, playing Lambeau. Yeah. You see the Micah Parsons thing where they put a thing in his contract that he can't get traded to the Eagles?
I did. I saw.
Oh, Jerry. But yeah, I like, the Eagles have been passing a little bit over expected. I just kind of like the matchup for Devonta Smith. Who's going to guard him on the outside? There's no really premier corners in Green Bay, so
yeah,
I like the passing game for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has been slinging the rock. No reason to stop now after the bye.
Yeah, I hear that. It's just that they've really been kind of a run funnel in Green Bay. They haven't been a run funnel, but they have been allowing it recently to backs. It wasn't just Rico Dowdle last week, but it was there was another back or two. I feel like it was like a Bijan or somebody else that they gave up in the last month.
Speaking of Bijan,
Jesus,
real quick, we need to get him out of Atlanta.
Well, Drone, we appreciate you. Ryan is starting Nico and Devonta. I probably want to go Olave over Devonta, but yeah, play Nico for the volume. Olave or Devonta, do your best. Let's talk about this game, though, Ryan, since you referenced it. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is going nuclear. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is the Tyler Algier show. Hopefully you started your Tyler Algier, who had less than 1 fantasy point last week, because he's already scored a touchdown and he's about to score again.
He's about to score again.
There he is. Down at the 1. Tyler Algier ran it for 9 yards.
This is a joke.
Now. It's rough. It's really rough. Bijan is struggling. Now, will Algier come out? It looks like he doesn't know yet. He might stay in this game and score another touchdown.
I had to start running back. I would give my goal line touches to the other guy to make him angry and not want to resign. I'm just saying.
Well, Here's the thing about this. We just answered the Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet question. This is what NFL. So, by the way, Tyler Algier staying in the game. He's going to probably get this carry at second goal from the 1 and crush Bijan managers even more. We'll see what happens in a second. But this is what NFL teams should do, right? Put your pounder in goal line situations and let them score the touchdown and save your elite shifty back for all the work between the 20s. This is a good NFL problem to have, but obviously it crushes us in fantasy. If Bijan isn't breaking these long runs, if Kenneth Walker, more specifically, isn't breaking these long runs, then it's going to be a long day for fantasy for them. Let's see what Michael Penix does here. Second down, gives it to Algier from the 1 in the shotgun, and it's a touchdown. Tyler Algier, 2 rushing touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, 0 rushing touchdowns in this game today.
Look, if you're going to pick a running back in the top 10 and not give him the touches he wants or needs or the touchdowns, look, I think there's going to be some nasty rumors coming out of Atlanta soon. I'm going to support all of them.
Well, listen, we know Tyler Algier has been kind of a stash in Dynasty. You certainly didn't know or want to know if you should play him in a redraft. That wasn't a consideration, but you wanted to stash him in Dynasty because he might be out of town. They also like him a lot, but I think there's going to be a market for him. He's a good back. What are you thinking about Algier? I believe his contract is up this season. Do you think that he gets, I'll double check that, but do you think he gets something on the open market in the next year or 2 here?
They're resigning him. He's worth more to Atlanta than he is to any other team.
Is that true, though? You don't think a team is going to go out there?
Are we watching the game right now?
Yeah, no, but you don't think a team is going to go out there and offer him more than a couple mil a year to find out? No. I mean, the Patriots will. I'll take
Terrell Jennings. They're fine. They're fine.
Awful. That's yuck. that is horrific.
Could a team like Washington do that? Maybe. Theoretically, could they also pick Jeremiah Love in the first round and, be terrible from a team building standpoint? Also, yes. Yeah. But man, it's aggravating because like the Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet thing is one thing. They're both day 2 picks. It kind of makes sense that the skill sets match up. But you took Bijan Robinson in the top 10. Don't get me. I think Tyler Algier was a day 3 pick. Round 6 or 7, or was he like a round 4 guy?
No, he must have been a round 4 guy.
He was definitely not. I'm gonna take a peek. Round 5.
Okay.
So, what's the point of taking a guy in the top 10 if you're not going to give him elite usage? Maybe it's because they're bad right now. Maybe because they know they have nothing to play for.
Well, they're playing to win this game. He has elite usage. He's got 16 carries on the ground, run at 5.2 a clip. And he's also got 2 receptions, just 4 yards on those. But that's more of an offensive problem in general. But you want to have 2 backs. That's what teams want to do who are good teams. I don't know that Atlanta's is up in the upper echelon just yet, but they're currently beating the Colts with a couple minutes to play. And they just threw a 2-point conversion. Michael Penix, this just in, Michael Penix made an on-target throw to Drake London at the front pylon. And he just absolutely cooked a dude. I don't know if it was Sauce, but it might have been. And Sauce just absolutely fell down. And so, look, Atlanta's up 3 here with 1:37. I think we're looking at overtime with Daniel Jones. We just had another elite Josh Downs run back here. And the Colts are at the 50-yard line with $1:35 to play.
Mm-hmm. Look, this game is everything he could have won it from fantasy. If Bijan had those 2 touchdowns instead of Algier, you have the Drake London score. You have Jonathan Taylor going absolutely nuclear. I mean, can we talk about the Michael Pittman dud? Because that's going on right now too. I mean, Josh Downs is everyone's throwing up a dud in the passing game. But that's what happens when you have a running back have 200 yards and 2 scores. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the early start sit show over on TikTok, which, by the way, if you want to check that out, that's Jesse Moeller over here. You can click that QR code to get right to it. But yeah, we talked about that in the sit show that Billy Bowman was back, slot corner for Atlanta. That obviously we were fading both Downs and Warren to an extent as a result. Warren, of course, ended up with a decent day, 6 for 66, but no touchdowns. Alec Pierce caught the 1 touchdown, 4 for 84, so we like that. But yeah, that allowed AJ Terrell to focus a little bit more and them to also double Pittman because they had the slot locked down with Bowman. Obviously, he's done his job. Just one reception for 3 yards for Josh Downs. But like you said, 1 for 9 on Michael Pittman. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and you let Jonathan Taylor go off. I don't know if there's anything that they could have done better, but Taylor is just elite.
Yeah, he's just that guy. I mean, I think Alec Pierce is pricing himself out of Indianapolis.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Best downfield threat in the league. Any team would love it. Well, you know who would look good in Buffalo is damn Jalen Waddle. I don't know if you saw that today. Jalen Waddle, Buffalo offered Miami a 2027 first and third. I don't know if the third was 26 or 27 for Jalen Waddle, and Miami said no. So Buffalo tried, but yeah, I think that was maybe it was a 26 first, and they wouldn't offer the 27 or vice versa.
It was 27, they wouldn't offer the 26. You got to flip.
Yeah, but look.
If I want to turn down a first, I want that first to be turned down in one of the most loaded draft classes in recent memory. So like, I'm cool with it. Not really, but
well, what I think really should have happened there is Buffalo should have done whatever they could to go get Jalen Waddle. That means you got to offer a 26 first for a 27 instead of a 27 first. Like, what the hell are we actually doing here? Who cares? But that's a good idea. Why don't we just, add another year plus to this dwindling Super Bowl window that we have with our star aging quarterback who's not old, but he's, 29 is getting a little bit old for what Josh Allen does. And I worry a little bit about that athleticism, as he turns 30 next year, to start to hit a slight decline. It's not going to be bad. He's still going to be elite. But, we got a window here. We got a window where the Bills should be winning Super Bowls. And, Josh Allen ain't getting any younger.
Yeah, it's true. Danny Dimes almost got the first down on 3rd and 21.
Beautiful run. Oh, man. I'm watching it now. It says live. It's not live. But they obviously need to go for this now because it's 4th and 1.5 here.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
Yep. Frosty, what is up? Welcome in. Slayton or Otton, Ryan? What are you doing here?
Slayton's such a good play, but like the weather, I need to take a look. I thought it was still bad.
Please have a look at it. I am currently watching the Colts game, so I do not want to turn off to look at the pregame yet and see what the weather looks like.
They got it.
Frosty, what do we got?
I gotta scroll down. 23 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts 32 miles an hour. Light snow.
Yeah.
Great.
32 miles. But wait, what's the sustained?
23.
That's not terrible, but I get it. I get the hesitancy. I don't really want to play Slayton anyway. Jackson Dart is just going to throw to whoever Jackson Dart wants to throw to. There's no game plan here. The nice thing is that the Bears can't cover anybody, so you could fire up everyone. But with Bellinger back, I'm not like dying to play Slayton. Really, they should be using guys who play not as far down the field. So I think, you're fine to fade Slayton. I'm not fading him so far that I'm playing Otton. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. And there's also, I follow Kevin Roth. He does weather for Roto Grinders. He's really good at what he does. Like,
yep.
I made a good bit of money on DFS, being like following his weather forecast because it's like he's pretty good at what he does. There's pop-up showers all day in Miami and Tampa Bay. They could just come up whenever they want. He's talking about it. There's one that just popped over Raymond James Stadium right now. So there's rain risk there as well. It's just so unpredictable that we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to take Darius Slayton. I know what the weather's going to be. I'll risk it there.
Yeah, we talked about this on the early show. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure Otton has a grand total of 0 touchdowns on the season. I know he had the usage last week, so that was good to see. But we should have a healthy Emeka Egbuka, or as healthy as he's going to be for a while. which is at least reassuring. We know Tez Johnson is in the mold. We know Sterling Shepard is there as well. But yeah, he had over the last 3 weeks, so not bad, 6, 9, and 5 targets. He's had the volume, but he hasn't scored, Cade Otton. So New England isn't going to be the first team I think he scores on. So just something to keep in mind. I go Slayton here. Colts are trying to win this game. There's Michael Pittman with a catch, 26 seconds and counting down. No timeouts, but it's 4th down. It looks like they're going to tie this. We're going to overtime. Nino, what is up?
Maybe Bijan can score some points in overtime.
Yeah. Let's get a Penix to Bijan screen pass for a touchdown. I would love that. Nino says Brees versus Cleveland or Swift with the mystery split. Listen, man, totally get it. It is the mystery split here. I think that the Bears are going to win this one handily, so I fully expect it to be a Monangai game. I've heard some arguments that Swift could be a lot more involved, but I only think that happens if Jackson Dart is playing at a high level. I think he will, but playing at a high level and pushing for touchdowns, not just field goals here. It's definitely possible. But I'm leaning Brees even in a tough matchup here. I want the assured volume, and the Jets have to do something here because Garrett Wilson at least opens things up a little bit more. What do you think here, Brees or Swift?
Man, I kind of want to go Swift, even though I have Brees above him. I kind of want to move Swift up here. I mean, it's just such a great matchup, it's such a bad matchup for Brees that we've seen the Jets offense. I mean, they do get there in garbage time, but we have seen some absolute stinkers from those guys this year where they just crush your whole lineup.
Very true.
I mean, Vegas right now thinks Swift is going to be the front guy, but
AD Mitchell and Alan Lazard are out. Does that change your mind at all?
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think that just means a little more Isaiah Davis than we like, but for Brees, I'm still happy with it. I understand it, but I'm playing Brees over Swift. I get it. It is a tough one. What are you thinking about Rico this week? I love him. Very happy with the matchup. How about you?
Yeah. What more could you want? Gonna get all the carries. He is undeniable at this point.
Yeah. Do you have your rankings up?
Yeah, he's RB7. I just moved him up.
Yeah. RB6 for me. Yeah. You got to fire Rico up. I think he's going to crush at home against New Orleans. They do not want Bryce Young to touch the football more than he has to, other than handing it to Rico. I even have Chuba Hubbard going in a spot or two where I have to because of buys, but like over better plays, guys who shouldn't be in your lineups at all. So I'm hoping that it's just, 40 rushes a game in this game. I think it can be, and Rico should get, 65% of those. So very, very happy with him this week. Ryan, what are you thinking from Ronnie? Good morning, sir. 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. All right. So at least 2 wide receivers here, Ryan. Monty, Swift, Etienne, Flowers, Lava, MHJ, Jamo. What do you think?
I mean, I have to move Swift up because I have Etienne above him as well.
Same.
I like the matchup for Etienne. It's kind of a sleeper matchup there. Houston's been a good defense this year, but estimated points added against the run, they're kind of middle of the pack. So they're not the best run defense, even though on paper it kind of looks like it if you dive a little deeper. If you want to predict the backfield split, go ahead. I just
hit me.
I got to move Swift up. I think it's one of those games, and then I'll go Flowers in a smash matchup, and I'll go Jamo, honestly.
Yeah, it's talk about a smash matchup. I mean, Detroit against Washington, who's just lost the will. That defense has lost the will to show up week in, week out. I know they're trying to, hope that Daniels is back in 3 weeks. That might have been kind of just a stunt to keep this team from quitting by not putting him on IR. I wonder what's happening there with Daniels. We saw his elbow go the wrong direction for far too long. I like Monty this week, though, in that same game. Full PPR, I get it, but I think Monty has probably one of the best chances to score of anybody on this list. If I need one running back, it's going to be Monty. If I need a flex, I have Etienne over Swift at the moment, so I'll go him. And then my 2 wide receivers are going to be MHJ And depends if you need floor or ceiling. If you need floor, it's Flowers. If you need ceiling, I go JMO.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to score 40 points today.
Agree.
I'd be absolutely shocked if they didn't after coming off that dud last week against Minnesota. We know how Detroit operates. They'll just score and score and score and score and score. So it's going to get ugly there.
Yep. Guys, we appreciate you joining. Please like and follow if you like this content. Also, if you want to check out TikTok, we got Jesse Muller going on right now. You can hit that QR code and join in the live start sit over there. Get your question answered again from him. But thanks for joining us here. Frosty says, who are your favorite guys at wide receiver and running back so we can buy low? Frosty, we're going to go to your second question first, and then we'll hit the buy low. Drop Knicks to pick up Jaden Daniels in a 1 QB league. When you have Dart, what are you doing?
I think I'm just rolling with Dart.
Well, yeah, but do you drop Knicks to pick up Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, I read it reverse. That's my bad. Yeah, I'd risk it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Knicks is going to be super boom bust. We know Jaden Daniels has a very high floor and an elite ceiling if he's healthy and playing. And that defense is awful. So, yeah, I'm happy to do that. Roll with Dart, like Ryan said. So here's Frosty's other question. Who are favorite wide receivers and running backs to buy low with a good playoff schedule? Bucky is my number one. His playoff schedule is very, very nice. And he hasn't played yet. So we expect him to come back. We expect him to dominate. Trey Benson is in that same vein. He should come back to a nice offense led by Jacoby Brissett. They're going to utilize play action. Brissett can actually push it down the field and stretch things out for Benson underneath. So I like those two running backs coming off of injury. And I have to break some news, Ryan. Paul Tagliabue has died this morning.
Just
tough one.
Yeah, it's tough. That's no fun.
Yeah, he was 84, heart failure, rough one, but he did a lot of good for the league. So hats off to you, Paul Tagliabue, and tough one for the family, of course. But apologies for bringing that up and killing the mood. That is a bit of news. But Ryan, who are some of your buy lows moving forward outside of those two running backs I mentioned?
I mean, Garrett Wilson. It's you see the matchups coming up. Cleveland's kind of tough this week. They have, been allowed some sneaky fantasy points to wide receivers. They have the playoffs right before the playoffs to get Miami to get right.
Yep.
Atlanta's in there, Baltimore, Jacksonville for the playoff run. It's just New England for week 17 of the Christian Gonzalez treatment. It's going to be tough, but weeks 15, 16 against the Jags and Saints. I like that one a lot. I was really going to say nobody.
Yeah.
But it's rough out there in these fantasy streets.
What do you think of this move I just pulled off in a team? I'm 8-1, and this will get into a buy low as well at running back. I traded Tucker Kraft, and the premium's pretty heavy, but I do have Loveland and Laporta, so I felt okay getting rid of him to continue my streak. Who did I get in return? I got Devontae Adams. So I traded Kraft, a second round pick, and I feel like it was Pat Bryant, and I got back Devontae Adams and RJ Harvey. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in on that. I think RJ Harvey's a league winner. So
yeah, could be.
Anytime I could pick him up with the Dobbins injury after that tweet, he can't be good. So
yeah, I agree with that. And he's coming off a down game. RJ Harvey, look, any of these rookie backs, really, if you can go out and make a deal for TreVeyon Henderson before this game, I think you're going to be in good shape. TreVeyon could go off, but he also could be stifled by the Tampa D. I think Vita Vea is back playing in this game. Can you double check that for me, actually, if Vita Vea is playing? I think so. If that's the case, TreVeyon should have it a little bit more difficult. He's definitely buy low. These rookie running backs, outside of course, Caleb Johnson, outside of guys who aren't playing at all, are really, really interesting for me. So those are some of your buy lows. Chip Douglas says PPR flex pick 2, Tet, Vidal, Tez, Tracy, Slayton. Which 2, Ryan, are you starting in the flex this week?
I don't like it, but I'm starting Tet out of these guys.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like it at all. I kind of want to go Tez as my number 2. Although Kamani Vidal, it kind of feels like he's due for a bounce back, outside of the he does good every other week thing. he put up an absolute stinker against
He did.
Tennessee in such a great matchup. And yeah, I'm gonna go Tet, and I'll go Tez Johnson.
Yeah, I agree with you. The thing is that the Patriots have been pretty good. It's not so good on the other side with Carlton Davis, but Marcus Jones in the slot and all over the field has been really good. So if you're not getting blanketed by Christian Gonzalez, like I expect Igbuka will, if they don't move him around too much, it could be a good day for Tez. But if Igbuka is 1,000,000% in the slot and Tez is rolling outside, he could get shut down as well. I do like Tez still, but I agree with you. It's Tez, then Vidal. I'm staying away from these Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep.
It is what it is. We just started overtime here. It looks like the Atlanta offense is coming out. So we will see what happens with these games. And we got about 20 minutes till these 1 o'clock games start. So hit us with any of your start-sit questions that you have. Ryan, do you have any particular start-sit questions of your own? Just, a couple of players who you're deciding between who are very similar in your rankings this week.
I mean, looking at my rankings, I kind of want to move TreVeyon Henderson up. It just feels like
where do you have him?
I'm at RB 17 and I want to get him higher.
Oh, I have him at 20 right now. I actually have Vidal one spot ahead of him. I'm a little concerned about Jennings. Jennings is going to eat in. It feels like 50-50. You don't think so?
I think so, but I think TreVeyon Henderson is going to make his limited touches count. So
hope so.
I like the matchup because Tampa Bay with Vita Vea is decent against the run, and they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more, and hopefully he'll get some targets because of that. But it's been ugly start, and then I'm looking at Romo Odunze here, even with the wins after the 0.
Yeah,
I mean, it's tough, but you can't put him outside the top 10.
No, wide receiver 9 for me on the week. But let's stay in Chicago. Here's a question for you. They're back-to-back in my rankings. DJ Moore this week or Wan'Dale Robinson, same game?
Wan'Dale Robinson. On Thursday, I was extremely bullish on Wan'Dale. I cooled a little bit. It's solely because of the weather. I've Wan'Dale about 10 spots higher than DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he's just going to get the work, and below ADOT benefits both these guys. So I like both these guys in this matchup with the winds and the snow, and who knows what we're going to see.
Yeah, agree. I do wonder if Luther Burden plays a lot in this game because I think he is active.
He is.
So I wonder if, because like you said, the low ADOT and the weather, if Luther Burden becomes more of a factor as Michael Penix Jr. gets absolutely crushed, throws it to no one. But don't worry, there's a flag on the play in the secondary.
I don't know about this Atlanta offense, man.
Penix has been bad. He's been bad.
Like, you sign a quarterback to a $150 million deal. He turns out to be bad.
Yeah.
You then draft a guy who's also probably bad. And now you don't have your first round pick this year. It's going to LA. So I don't know, man.
Here's the flag. Mooney ran directly into Mekhi Blackman, the defensive back, as fast as possible, and then peeled off his route. Blackman falls over and gets called for the flag. So,
the best offensive play in football is running straight into the defender and underthrowing the ball.
Well, at least that one was an underthrow, but it was wide left about 30 yards. So I guess they felt like they needed to call it. But yeah, I tend to agree with you there. If Atlanta wins this game, it won't be because of Michael Penix. It won't be because of Drake London. It certainly won't be because of wide open Kyle Pitts in the end zone, who Penix dramatically underthrew earlier in the game. It'll be because of Tyler Algier, who is absolutely dominating this game. He's got 10 carries, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. They may. Let's see, 2nd and 12 here. Let's see what Michael Penix does. As we have 15 minutes left till the 1 p.m. game start. Oh, man, throwing off his back foot, throwing as he's falling away with nobody in his face and absolutely just airmails the ball out of bounds. Mooney catches it about 5 yards out of bounds. Just a horrible throw to an open receiver by NFL quarterback Michael Penix. I like Michael Penix. It's just this offensive line has regressed. It's been really bad. And even without DeForest Buckner up front for Indy. They're still pretty stout up there. So, like you said, I don't know if they're winning this game, but they're going to have to figure something out here real soon.
Look, if I'm Atlanta, the first thing I'm doing is I'm firing the offensive coordinator. I don't like Zach Robinson. I don't think he calls a good game ever.
Apparently not.
I mean, the one game against the Niners was the best game he's probably called. It feels like.
Yeah.
With the motion swing passes to Bijan, I'm trying to remember the game correctly, but you got to get the ball to your best player in space, and apparently Zach Robinson can't do that. So,
nope.
Why are you an offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons? That's my 2 cents on it. If you can't get your best players the ball, then what are you doing?
I agree with you, but you can't get your best players in ball when Zaire Franklin is bearing down on you and sacking you for a 12-yard loss. That's what happened on third down, and now the Falcons are punting the ball away to the Indianapolis Colts, who should win the game because they're going to start at their own 45-yard line. So I think this is an easy field goal and win for the Colts coming up in just a couple of minutes. Good Lord. Speaking of just a couple of minutes, we got the 1 o'clock game starting in just a couple of minutes. If you have your start sit questions, please let us know. There's probably a lot going on here. If you click the QR code on TikTok, I'm not sure Jesse will get to your questions, but we are here to answer any and every single one. I brought it up early in the show, Ryan. I think it was before you joined. Harold Fannin was limited all week, but he's expected to play against the hapless New York Jets defense. We know this offense funnels it through their tight ends. Are you happy to play both Cleveland tight ends this week, and where do you have them ranked?
I'm out on Njoku. I have him down at 25. I'm just It feels like he has to catch a touchdown to get there.
Yeah.
He did have a good game before the bye week, but I believe wasn't Harold Fannin hurt in that game?
He might have been, but I know both of them have been viable together on the field. You just need both of them to catch the touchdown. Or one of them to have the supreme volume. So
no, he popped up this week. I think they're both top 5 tight ends against the Patriots, which is absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
So
I agree with you.
I'm in on Harold Fannin. I'm in on Njoku. I'll take the touchdown if I can get it. But this Jets defense just lost a ton of talent in the past week. They also benched Quincy Williams, their all-pro linebacker. So
really,
I'm in on. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
That one. Good Lord. I know what they're doing. They're tanking for the number 1. I don't think they're going to get it.
I mean, their whole front office was watching Fernando Mendoza win the game against Penn State yesterday. So, everyone was there. So,
yeah, jeez. James, much appreciated, James. Let's talk about James's start-sit question here. He's down because he started Knicks in half PPR, so he needs 2 of the following: Hall, Dowdle, Vidal, and Monangai. And then at wide receiver. So let's take all right. So I think he needs 2 running backs and a wide receiver. James, clarify for us to make sure, but it looks like we're picking 2 RBs and a wide out here. Let us know if that's the case. Ryan, let's go to running back first in half PPR. Who do you like?
It's Rico Dowdle. You got 100% firing up Rico Dowdle. Excellent matchup.
Absolutely.
Out of everyone he listed, he's the first name, and then there's a huge gap into the second one.
And?
But who would be the second one? Would it be
2
running backs and a wide receiver? I'm gonna go Dowdle for sure.
Yes.
Man, the Chicago split is just gonna be so nasty.
It is. But they're playing the Giants. The Giants give up a ton to the running back, and that's why I'm gonna play Monangai over Hall. It feels gross. But he had a good game last week. I'm gonna roll with Monangai. Are you playing Brees?
No. I can't get there.
Yeah. Against Cleveland in a tough matchup. Yeah. It's Dowdle, Monangai at running back, James. At wide receiver, Keenan Allen or Parker Washington. I hate this question because it's legitimate. Who are you starting this week?
Look, Parker Washington has everything that could probably go right for him.
Yep.
Brian Thomas is out. Travis Hunter's out. He's going to get all the targets he can handle.
Giammi Brown's out. Brenton Strange still out.
Yeah, but I remember vividly. I need to see how many slot snaps he's taking, but I remember Mike Tomlin vividly a couple of years back just guarding Keenan Allen with a linebacker, and I think he might do it again. Because I think he did it with, I forget who it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But he has this thing where he has linebackers on his slot wide receivers. Keenan Allen's still running a good amount of snaps from the slot. That's a tough one, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Parker Washington. I know he could get the Derek Stingley's treatment, but they're going to have to move him around a ton. Jacoby Myers is probably the one who's going to get the Derek Stingley treatment, and he's probably just a sacrificial guy this week. They've already talked about the fact that he's going to be limited. He's learning the offense. It's going to be a struggle for him. I'm going Parker Washington here pretty clearly, but this game is going to be not too high scoring. I think if either team wants to try and win this game, they need to try and score as few points as possible. I mean, the Davis Mills led Houston Texans against them. Oh, did it happen?
JT called ball game.
Oh, nice. Oh man, you're ahead of me. God damn it.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. You're ahead of me because of the international feed. It's all good. So yeah, 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver for James. James, we appreciate you and the contribution. We're going Dowdle Monungai at running back over Breece Hall this week against Cleveland. We are going Parker Washington over Keenan Allen. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yeah.
So good luck, James. Jared says he needs 2 between Vidal, Henderson, and Monty. Are we sitting Vidal? Because I am.
Yeah. Monty could have 25 yards and score twice. That's what I think that's going to be probably stat line today. Yeah. They're going to get everyone in that end zone. And then Henderson, I just like the matchup more than Vidal. So.
Yep, totally agree with you. I'm rewatching the Jonathan Taylor play as it's live for me right now. I'm closer to you than I'm closer to Berlin than you are, and I get the feed about 2 minutes later. So. JT 3 touchdowns on the ground. Let's get his final stats. They're not even updated here. Come on, DAZN or whatever you are, do better. But 3 touchdowns on the ground.
I got it. I got it on ESPN.
Yeah. What do you got?
32 rushes, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns.
On the ground, another 42 on 3 receptions through the air. This is your RB1 on the week. No one's going to beat that performance. Unless they're named Rico Dowdle. Fire up your Rico Dowdle this week, James and Prophet. We thank you, sir. Good luck to you here. Ryan, we got about 8 minutes left till game time. Anything else you are thinking about this week? Maybe one thing you're interested in seeing here in week 10.
Look, I could go with the cop-out answer and say the Chicago backfield split because that is the easiest answer in the book. But I think I want to go to see how Puka's injury really is today. I want to see how they split that game up with him and Devontae Adams. I think the game's going to be high scoring. It was what was it, 4 or 5 Thursdays ago. We had an absolute treat on Thursday Night Football. That game came down to the wire where they didn't get it in overtime.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see how Devontae Adams and Puka Nakua's usage is today, because I don't think the shoulder was severe though when he landed on it from the jet sweep. But I want to see how it is, and then I'll bring up Chicago real quick. All eyes are on that backfield today because whoever wins out in that split is probably going to deliver you at least probably a high-end RB2, low-end RB1 finish, at least ceiling for higher against the Giants in a windy, snowy kind of game. So all eyes are there. It's going to be really intriguing.
I'm very happy to see what happens there as well. Talking about backfield splits, what happens in Seattle? Does Kenneth Walker finally find the end zone? I'm not hopeful, but at least it's a better situation than most. And of course, Rashid Shaheed joining that offense to watch him stretch the defense. It's going to take time over there, but it should be interesting. A.D. Mitchell is out, Ryan, along with Alan Lazard. But Garrett Wilson is back. I'm also excited to see Garrett Wilson. Again, it's been, I think, 2-3 weeks. Maybe they had a bye in there. I'm trying to remember the exact schedule for Garrett Wilson, but he has been injured. Yeah, he has been injured. He is back this week, so I'm interested to see if he picks up right where he left off. I kind of need him to, so I'm hopeful for Garrett Wilson for fantasy perspective, but at the same time, from an NFL perspective, this team is kind of dead in the water, so we'll see what happens. But then, let's talk about Philly, Green Bay on Monday night. Really like that matchup. If Green Bay wants to prove that they're a powerhouse and that they're someone who should be, dealt with in the NFC, they really need to show up to this game. Unfortunately, I don't think they do, because I don't think they are, because this offense kind of is not nearly as good as it should be. I know you're the Philly homer, but tell me how you think this game pans out.
I think it's I mean, I'm betting Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I think it's a guarantee. After all the noise in the offseason about the tush push, let's ban it. And Green Bay was probably the loudest, even though they ran it a good bit last year. I find that hilarious. So I think it's going to be a kind of a ball control game for Philadelphia. I think they could air it out with the deep ball as well, because I don't know. Kevin Patullo has been showing a willingness to let Jalen Hurts just throw it deep. So I like everyone from Philly this week. Dallas Goedert's always sneaky to get there with the goal line shovel pass.
Yeah, agree.
But I think it plays out better for Philly than it does Green Bay. Like I said on Thursday, the loss of Tucker Kraft is just I think we're going to feel it this week against an elite defense. You kind of felt it last week against Carolina. They did score late in that game in the fourth quarter, but Philly's just a better defense than Carolina. I think they're really going to feel it. So,
especially with no Jaden Reed, expected back next week. We'll see if that actually happens. I have Josh Jacobs as my RB10. I need to move him down. I'm putting him now down below Jaylen Warren. Josh Jacobs is my RB16. What do you think about that ranking for him and him being limited by this Philly D?
Yeah, I think I'm there on that one. I think I'm a little higher. I have him at 13. So out of RB1 territory, who knows how that calf is still bothering him. We had 17 carries last week, so shouldn't be bothering him that bad. But
yeah,
I just don't like getting with Jalen Carter on the field.
Yep, absolute stud. He has proven it. If they ever gave the MVP to a defensive player, that guy's proven it this year in the games he's missed versus the games he's played. Jalen Carter has been an absolute stud.
If we're talking about MVP and they don't give it to a quarterback, I mean, it's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, it's got to be Jonathan Taylor. But we hope it's Drake May. Drake May, my quarterback 2 on the week at Tampa. I don't care. Tom Brady's clone son apparently is going to be crushing it, because if you missed this news story, Tom Brady cloned his dog, and then he submitted his DNA 25 years ago, and the people are like, oh, Drake May's 25. Where did he submit his DNA? Oh, North Carolina. What? So I think it's ridiculous, but it's at least funny. If you've also seen the side-by-side pictures of Tom Brady and Drake May, they do look kind of similar. But look, if Tom Brady is cloning humans and that human is quarterback for the Patriots and balling out like he is, I'll take it. Why not? Just chalk it up to another, call it Clone Gate. Chalk it up to another Patriots conspiracy theory here. But good stuff. It looks like we lost Ryan for a minute or two, unless we lost me. I can't totally tell here. But look, we're about to wrap things up here. We got 2 minutes until the games kick off. We are very, very happy to have you with us. We are the Fantasy Football Universe. We are always live here, both on YouTube and especially on TikTok with that QR code. You can get over there. Like and follow us here. Also follow us on TikTok for live shows. We're trying to go live every single day, so you can join us there and just get any and every piece of information you need. We also have a Discord. You can join us on the Discord to get your questions answered each and every day of the week. I'm in Amsterdam. We got guys over on the West Coast as well, Ryan on the East Coast. So anyone and everyone can answer your questions at any time of day or night. Go to our Twitter page, Fantasy Football Universe. Go to our link tree, and the link is in the Discord to join up there. And also use promo code FFU if you haven't tried Fast Draft yet. A free $25 deposit match, or less if you want. But you get a first-time deposit match of up to $25 using our promo code. That's about it. I don't see any more questions in the chat, and we're down to 1.5 minutes here. Ryan has unfortunately been booted out, but it's all good. We're going to end the show here. So thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in week 10, and we'll see you next week.
FFU. FFU.